Hey, welcome back. Another day, another vlog. Hope you're well on this Friday night. The end of the week. It's been a good week. Huge day. I was nearly going to swear then, but I didn't. So it's good. Monster day today. As most of you know, selling the house, so we're getting it ready to sell. So got a heap of work. My jobs are the outdoors ones. I've got to rip up old crappy destroyed grass that Bentley's destroyed, and it's at a level and whack. I've had about 4 or 5 goes to try and get grass to go. I have zero green thumb whatsoever. I think the only success I've ever had was a chili plant that just keeps pumping out chilies, which is sort of good because you can make some. Every time my sister comes over, she makes wicked sweet chili sauce and chili oil and stuff. So that was pretty cool. That's the only plant I think I've ever been able to even touch that'll grow. So I'm getting rid of this grass. We're rolling out new grass in there. So I've got to get rid of all that one. And then I just decided to do it on the day Jack's at school, which was today. 38 degrees, wicked. So I think about 8 hours straight in the sun. Smart this time, but I was sunscreened up, which was good. And that was really, really good. I needed that. Otherwise it'd be well and truly cooked. I think I still got a little bit of colour. Started to take it out. I'm just going to dump it there to work out how to get rid of it, and then decided, well, the nature strip where the bins go, that was just all mulch. I'll change that and put grass there. So now I'm transplanting grass in there. I'm trying to see if we can get that to grow. Fingers crossed. Just got to pump the water in. These hot days are not going to help. So anyway, but yeah, it's a long day, and I think I only finished about hour and a half, 2 hours ago, so I haven't had a chance to really sit down and go through much. But there's a little bit there, and well, a little bit, when I say there's a little bit, there's a bits, but nothing major, like no big taking out, not like yesterday. Yesterday we got out in front. Everyone else came in today with the Canon R5 stuff. And that was probably still the biggest story of the day, I'd say. There wasn't much like bigger stories than that. And so like we got it as soon as it happened yesterday, as soon as Canon released it, I got that email, so I was straight onto it, and then we got it out yesterday afternoon to you. And then I think last night Jared Poland jumped on, and then everyone else was onto it today, so pretty much most of them are sort of all running that story on their Friday session, so we were lucky to sort of get it ahead of the game for a change, so that's cool. It's nice when you sort of do a daily and you get out there and be one of the first to get the info out, so it's very cool. But yeah, R5, not much new today, pretty much everything we talked about yesterday, so I won't go much into that. So we're going to talk about some other stuff. Fishing side, torium, they got a new torium out this year, so good for jigging, saltwater, big heavy duty reel. They've now got a new compact body, which is basically a little bit narrower, so you can palm it, so you don't have to run your finger right across when you're guiding your line back on. Nice and light, heavy duty though. Comes in a PG and a HG models, or ratios, and a 1500 and a 2000. Massive amount of drag in it, the same. He had the 2000 model and he had it cranked up, and he just could not even move the handle. I don't know how hard he was trying. He wasn't a big bloke, but he reckons minimum 10 kilo plus of drag on there. So that's probably 22 pound of drag upwards, if not more. So I think he was sort of underrated a bit. So it looked pretty good, really good for those GTs and Deweys and stuff like that. And not a big reel. Even the 2000 wasn't a big reel. So it probably takes a place of a reel that big, and you've got a reel sort of that narrower body. So very, very cool. They do have a good name, the Torium, so I'm sure this new model will be quite good. So you can check that out on Shimano. I'm not sure, again, I didn't have much time this afternoon to go and check what I normally do. My apologies. To see if it is coming to Australia, but it's only just released in Yokohama in the last week or so, so I'm assuming it may not be up on our site. We may have that old model still on there. But if you are looking at one, may pay just to hold off and see if you can see your local dealer, Shimano dealer, to see if they can hook you up with the new model when it comes in. So I'm assuming this will definitely come to Australia. It's that salt water. We pretty much get all those ones. It's only the baitcasters we tend to get a different model or don't get them at all. So, as a la the Calcutta DC. Now, in the politics game over in the States, Bernie Sanders has jumped out as the new top dog for the Democrats. He won New Hampshire and he won the one before. That stuffed up voting. They worked that out. He won that. He's a pretty popular guy. I mean, he's an older gentleman, but that doesn't mean nothing anymore. Age doesn't really thing. When he's got his people doing his thing, it's all about having the right team and the right focus. He's the figurehead to point him in the right direction. They basically are there to do the work to get him what he needs done. And so I don't think age really affects it too much. He seems like from everything I've seen of him, he seems like a pretty general, normal sort of a person. He doesn't seem like he's up himself. He's a senator, so he could probably do whatever he wants, whenever he wants. But it doesn't seem like that. He actually, I guess until they get into power, you never know what they're going to like. But he does seem pretty genuine. So I think he's a good choice. That Mayor Pete they reckon he's sort of the number 2 guy. He's a young guy. He'd be a good sort of energetic sort of a dude. I just don't know if he's got the conviction to pull these guys into line. I think Bernie Sanders, the beauty about him, he doesn't really give a shit about what all these other guys, he's been in it for that long now, he doesn't really care what they think. He's also got all the connections, he knows how the system works, which is probably a little bit better than Mayor Pete. And there was a lady come in that number 3, I can't remember her name, my apologies. But yeah, so like Bernie Sanders, I think myself, he's probably the ones I know of, he's probably the one that stands out to me, I guess. That's all I can really say. I don't know it that well, but yeah, so it has changed. The guys that were there seem to have dropped off, and Bernie slipped up, and now the voting's coming in. He seems to be ramping up. So yeah, it might be him versus Trump. You never know. Okay, Corona. Or COVID-19, as it should be called. Everyone keeps calling it the Corona, and my apologies. It is actually COVID-19. The Australians have extended a travel ban, so no people are allowed to come from China mainland. China not happy about this. It's going to affect all sorts of things, universities being the main one. Financially and terms, universities are changing terms because a lot of their students come from China and now they can't get here. So I guess we talked the other day about technology and how phones and that were going to be affected and technology be affected. Well, this is also the other side. China obviously has a lot of people that go and get educated in other countries at universities, and they pay a lot of good money to go there. So these universities now are not going to get that money because obviously if they're not going that term, they're not going to pay for that term. You can't. That's just crazy. I'm sure there's probably a couple of places, some highbrow snobby joints that would probably be too bad. We don't care. You're still paying us if you want to come here. But yeah, so it's definitely in Australia, it's affecting the financial of those universities. So yeah, just another side effect of what these outbreaks how they can affect society. It's not only the disease that we've got to fight against, we're fighting against supply, demand, education, and then the whole system just flows. And once you get that ripple going through, it's going to affect every portion of our society. So very interesting to see that. There's more cases on that poor old boat in Japan. There's a few Australians on that. They're sending over someone from Australia, from the Australian medical whatever, to go and help out and assess and get a clearer picture of that too. I think there was another 20 or 30 cases found today. So that hasn't got any better, that one. So they're still ramping up on that. So that's still in lockdown, that boat. There was some other fears about some other boats and they were cleared, so that was good. And then some people going on cruises have been affected and have to change plans. As always, travel insurance, people, doesn't matter if you're going on a boat, a plane, whatever, if you're going overseas, travel insurance. Worth every penny. And if you go traveling all the time, from my perspective, go and get annual travel insurance. Don't just pay it each trip. You'll pay twice as much as you need to. You can get an annual travel insurance through most places. All the mobs do them. Amex, Covermore, all those mobs go annual. If you're going every year and you're going other places, buy it annually and then you'll be covered for anything. So definitely worthwhile, because then when this stuff happens, you're covered, you get your money and you can pay for different things to happen. So definitely worthwhile travel insurance. Rightio, so yeah, that Hubei province is getting worse. The rest of China seems to be slowing down, but that Hubei is just going snowballing in there. Another 200 or something infections today. Just, yeah, ridiculous what's going on in there. That's increasing. Everywhere else seems to sort of be on a flat level at the moment. So they're containing it, but inside that containment area is just out of control. I think that's what they're really struggling. If they somehow fail there and that gets out, well, then it's going to be on for young and old. So definitely not over. As always, we'll keep you updated as the days go by and give you anything new news. And last but not least, Trumpy fires back, comes back swinging. Obviously, we all talked about, I think last week, he got acquitted. All good, as I said, fair go. He got off. He went through the process. He got off. End of that. Story's over. Done and dusted. He wasn't happy with that. He's come back and taken a shot at the guys, or at everyone, basically everyone and anyone who's had a crack at him over it. It's basically said they're all criminals, they're scumbags and corrupt and all sort of stuff. A little bit kiddish. I think he could have just easily just walked away, but I don't think I've ever seen anyone, apart from you get some of those star actors or some actors that are like, just love it, love the attention, and you do get that. It's understandable to get that. It must be addictive when you get all people talking about you all the time. It can be sort of addictive, but I think it's very self-destructive. And he loves hearing his own name. I'm sure he gets up and he just scrolls through the Twitter and all that, and if he can't see his name, he must just go, "Oh, what's going on? They're not talking about me. I need to think of something. I'll tweet something." Yeah, very, very self-destructive, unfortunately. So, but fair call. He got off. He has the right to have a crack back at his accusers. That's fair enough. And yeah, they're just going to have to suck it and see. There's nothing they can say. If they come back, well, then it's tit for tat. That's a bit kiddish and childish. But I don't think they will. I think they know that they're going to have to beat him now in the politics side. They've tried that way, it didn't work. Right, let's now beat him in the elections. And it looks like the Democrats are starting to pull their finger out and go, right, we need someone to beat him. The lady that come third in the New Hampshire one, she said, "Hi, blah, 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 I'm here to beat Trump." Good. That was a really smart move, and I think that's what they need to be focusing on. Now, new video, had a blinder last night on the Premiere Pro, in the edits. As I said the night before, finished all the photos, massive amount of photos. Got through the footage I'd taken, worked out really well, and I didn't have to really cut or change too much. It had come up really well. I've got to go through. I've now got it all set up last night. I now got to go through and do all the fine tunings, colours, sounds, music, audio, all that sort of stuff. Fingers crossed, maybe tonight. See if I hit the wall. I'm feeling pretty burnt after being in the sun for so long, but so here we go. I'm really positive, and I really want to get back in and get this out to you. And I think you're going to love it. I've had some great responses to some of the photos I've put up on Instagram. You can check us out here for that one over in there. You'll see all the photos. I'll just roll them through as a big set each day. So yeah, look, it come up really good, and I think you're going to like it. Fingers crossed I can get it done tonight, so I can upload it tomorrow. I'll try and fit it on the weekend, because weekends I no longer work. It's days off on weekends, remember? And I've got to finish off this grass somehow with Jack. That'll be tricky. He wants to help, but you can't let him out in that sun. It'll kill him. Hopefully it's a little bit cooler tomorrow. But But that's about it. Another day. Done and dusted. Friday, another week. Thanks for stopping by. Really do appreciate your support. For you new subscribers, it's great having you here. Thank you for you guys that have been around since day dot. Love your work. Bloody legends, and I do appreciate it. If you haven't subscribed, down here I believe is a subscription thingy and a little bell. Hit that. The bell will let you know when I post this daily vlog every day. That's a Monday to Friday. Weekends we're now off while I'm home for maternity leave, and I normally try and get a video once a week out to you if I can, and we've got one hopefully I'll have out this weekend before we finish. Last weekend is still sitting in the trial loop, but hopefully I'll hear back from that by Monday. The Wuckers. Alrighty, thanks for stopping by. Have a great Friday. If you're out having a drink, a nice little, well, it's pretty hot. I'm thinking Petite Verdot or something light. Be nice little red. Any sort of red would be lovely. I haven't got any here because I haven't been out. I will see you all Monday. Have a great weekend. Stay safe. Don't drink and drive. Look after your mates. And if you're going that way to town or that way to your mate's house, either way, don't drive. Get an Uber, get a taxi. Stay safe, and I'll see you all soon. Peace out.